Okay, we're going to begin work on this RCA CTC-15. Make that out. It definitely has a problem with some hum in the video. I suspect it's going to be one of these capacitors in here, power supply capacitor, that's causing that problem. So the first thing we got to do is pull the chassis, but I just want to make note of a few things. Of course, I hate this. This piece here has been pulled away and the wires aren't routed through it. There's one back there. Again, it's not being reused, the thing to route the wires. So whoever works on this set in the past, they just don't bother to put the wires back through the correct strain reliefs, and that can cause a variety of problems. One thing I already noted, I already had a heads up to, was the speaker connections, which I've already disconnected. Well, that little rivet broke, like I mentioned with my videos. It always happens, but I was ahead of it this time, so I was careful to make sure I held that speaker tabs, that little terminal strip there, when I removed the speaker wires. These things right here, so you don't tear the speaker coil wires out of there. So probably before I do anything, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull that speaker out, deal with that, put a new rivet in there, fix that. Then the next thing I have to do is I have to remove the three. One's already missing there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You unhook this whole tuner, disconnect this antenna lead in, and it attaches itself right to these two screw heads here. There's actually a built-in mount right here that rests on these two screws, so you can take the tuner out and it's somewhat, supported. These back pots here, with all the other controls, they're mounted to a frame assembly that bolts to the chassis, so that just stays intact. All you gotta do is pull all the knobs off before you withdraw it. The other thing you have to do is you have to disconnect the high voltage lead from the CRT, the yoke, blue, red, that's for the horizontal, yellow, black stripe, that's for the vertical. Obviously you disconnect the CRT socket and the convergence yoke, which is going to be right back in that area there. Unplug that. This one does not have a manual degausser. That's interesting. Kind of surprised. I thought the 15s had manual degaussers. Let me make sure there's no place to plug one in. Well, typically I think it would go in over here if it had one. Not 100% sure that plugs in. That's very interesting. That would usually be mounted. I'm going to take a look. I might mount one. I have an extra degaussing one of these things. So who knows? I might even get motivated and put in the automatic degaussing circuit into it. It just uses a varistor, a thermistor, and this coils that wrap around the CRT mount frame to do the degaussing. Let's see. I thought for sure the 15s had that. Maybe it was a later model. This is a CTC-15 AE. Anyway, the other thing I'm going to be checking on, and I'll detail that when I get into it, is the capacitors on the chroma board. That one right behind that big fat one there. The one that's right. Oh, what's this? A wire? Wait, whoa. Okay, I see a wire. See that? Wire sticking out, it's kind of orange wire kind of going. This one's already had the wire break. What if they left the remnants behind? I think I see that yellow wire down on the PC board is the correct wire, and that orange black wire is the jumper that's probably been put in. And did they bother to do it right? Let me see if I can see the orange wire. No, I can see it right here. You see that? See how it's soldered? That orange wire goes right to that resistor lead. Well, that's not where it's not supposed to be soldered to a resistor lead. It should have been. There's actually a place on the PC board where that goes down. So that'll be fixed and done right. But anyway, the caps I need to replace are that one for sure. That one's always bad. And then I'll go ahead and replace the other two coupling caps. One here At least get better light. This video is worth making. That one right there, and that one right there have to be replaced. While I'm in here, I'll probably check out the caps are part of the efficiency coil, make sure they're all good. Sometimes I replace this video coupling cap, sort of like just a preventive measure, because it's, you know, it's pretty critical you get the bias on the video output tube right, and sometimes these are a little bit lossy or leaky. Either way, I'll probably replace that cap there. That's a cap that goes across the primary of the audio out, and the sweep is substandard right now. It's not got full sweep, but I don't know if that's PC boards or what's going on. But before I get too deep into it, just for the heck of it, I'm going to check the B plus and see if my B plus is down, because the video was vertically shrunken, and that could be this doubler cap right here. If that's weak, it won't produce full B plus. More to come later. Sorry for the poor lighting. I'm kind of doing this in a darkened room right now.